Hi everyone, welcome and thank you for joining me again. I had a late start today because we were invited to the school for yet another award ceremony, and once again Dragonman was up on stage 3 times. Once for drama, once for chess, and he again made it to one of the top 10 students in his grade. Guys, I'm so proud of him. I cannot begin to tell you. Anyway, let's get to some royal and other news. I see the Yorks, Sarah, Eugenie, Beatrice and Edo are in Bahrain for the 2025 Bahrain Grand Prix. Mike and Zara Tyndall are also there, and so is Crown Prince Hussein of Jordan, his wife Rajwa and baby daughter. What I cannot understand is that we never see any of the Yorks at any other Formula One Grand Prix, but we see them every year without fail in Bahrain or Dubai. Now, why would that be? I find it just a little strange. Even more strange is that Beatrice had a baby barely 3 months ago, and the baby was born 3 to 4 weeks early. I'm sure they have wonderful nannies, but how do you leave such a tiny little thing behind? Maybe they brought the baby and the nanny along, I don't know, but really, I just don't always get these quasi-royals. Jack and the two little ones were seen at Windsor, where I'm informed that they had an appointment to see the king. But no Eugenie. I think Eugenie was at Art Basel, or maybe it was before that, I don't know. But I find it strange that Jack, without Eugenie, would go see Charles. I'm also being told that Eugenie and Jack will be moving back to England. It's all just a little too strange. And that is just as Harry and Meghan's villa nears completion in Portugal. I don't know. But anyway, I had a bit of a giggle the other day. How long have I been telling you that Eugenie and the Megsy had a falling out? Harry got involved and Eugenie decided that the family was right all along. How hard and how many times have I told you? Eugenie is not the mole, at least not since before Charles's coronation and before his second son was born. One could see how she tried to ignore Harry at the coronation. Jack spoke to him, but Eugenie barely looked at him. But no one believed me or really listened when I spoke, and continued with the Eugenie being this and that and a mole and blah, blah, blah. And now it has finally hit mainstream media that there is no friendship left. Oh, well, what shall I say? Okay, and then I want to make 2 comments on something 2 other creators said recently, and which is in a way incorrect, or then they may have sort of misspoken or whatever, and maybe created the wrong impression. Anyway, the one was Lady C on Dan Whitten the other day. She was talking about how difficult it is to remove someone from the line of succession. And in a way, yes, because Parliament has to do the dastardly deed when it comes to the line of succession. But on the other hand, it is not difficult at all, depending on the circumstances. You see, like anything else, there are rules and laws governing the line of succession. For instance, the Act of Settlement 1701 stipulated that marrying a Roman Catholic would disqualify a person from the line of succession. However, the Succession to the Crown Act of 2013 eliminated the ban on Catholics in the line of succession. But before 2013, a number of families lost their places in the line of succession. For instance, in 2003, Lord Downpatrick, and in 2008, Lady Marina Windsor lost their places in the line of succession after being confirmed in the Catholic Church. When Prince Michael of Kent married Marie Christine from Reibnitz, he too forfeited his place in the line of succession. The Act of Settlement and Bill of Rights exist to this day, along with many other laws, which directly or indirectly governs who qualifies for the line of succession. Now, there are two categories, basically plain English layman terms, under which someone can be removed from the line of succession. The one would be when they've done something illegal, or they've done something wrong, or they behaved inappropriately, or their political affiliations could not be a positive attribute for the good of England. For instance, Edward VIII was also accused of being a Nazi sympathizer. Now, this is more difficult because there has to be hearings and meetings and votes, etc., etc. Then there are also abdications, like when Edward VIII decided to rather marry Willis Simpson than be king. You abdicate, you're out of the line of succession. Thus, if Harry should abdicate his role and title as Prince of the United Kingdom, he will also be out of the line of succession. Now, years before, it would also have meant that his descendants would have been removed. But I think that has also been changed along the way, and it may not mean that his children will automatically be out. Now, what I call the second category, but which is actually the third because I can't count today, will be where someone does not qualify to be in the line of succession. The clause that a child has to be born from the body stands to this very day. It also clearly states the blood descendants of, or the legitimate descendants of, Sophia of Hanover, and or, when written in modern terms, the blood descendants of the reigning monarch. The only two things changed since 1701 is the clause excluding Catholics and the one about male preference. Today, Charlotte is third in line and Louis fourth. Prior to 2013, Charlotte would have been fourth after her brother Louis. Other than that, nothing has changed. If Archie and Lily are thus not born of the body but from a surrogate, if either or both do not have Harry and or Meghan's DNA, they do not qualify to be in the line of succession in the first place. So there will not be any issue, a mere striking of their names, that is all. Let's put it this way. If they are born from a surrogate or adopted, it will be easier and 110 times faster to remove them than to remove their father. I personally think that if William will do anything with regards to titles and position in the line of succession, he will likely only put Harry's ducal title in abeyance and arrange with Parliament to do so, and nothing more. That is if the other things I've been hearing are not true. But we'll talk about that in another video. If it is true that Harry's children were born from a surrogate and William knows it, and he knows it for a fact, then I think he will see to it that they are removed from the line of succession. Anyway, I also hear that Harry was staying close to Adelaide Cottage when he was in England recently, and many people are saying it was an olive branch to his brother. No, I do not think so. I mean, why would he then allow the vitriol spilled in court? Oh, the royal family pushed them out. Oh, the royal family tried to trap them. Oh, the royal family is behind the removal of his security, blah, blah, bloody blah. That does not sound like any kind of olive branch to me, unless it is a dead, scorched one. Okay, guys, I have to go. I'll be back real soon to talk about some more gossip and other stuff. Please take good care of yourselves until we meet again on the next one. Bye.